What's up, guys? I wanted to do a response video to a video that John Sonmez did about soon there will be no need for programmers. Now, the theory that developers will write themselves out of a job is a bit ludicrous, even though it sounds feasible. The thought is that at some point we can just automate everything, including the process of writing code. However, there's two problems with that. First, this theory would be valid if technology stood still. But technology, as we know, continues to move forward at a lightning pace. As new technologies appear, new demands and requirements appear along with them. New stacks are formed, new libraries and frameworks get created and recreated, and the cycle starts over. Now, this leads to the second problem with this theory, which is developers themselves. Now, developers tend to do the opposite of writing themselves out of a job. They actually end up making more work for themselves. Now, this is manifested in several ways and not necessarily only due to writing bad code. And I'm talking about developers in general, not specifically one individual developer. Now, there have been many attempts to automate software development, but mostly the tools were geared towards the business and not developers. These tools would allow non-developers to create software by dragging and dropping components, defining workflows, etc. The problem here is that they were either not adopted, quickly became outdated, were too thin to do anything useful, or would just be too complex for the average person and would end up needing a developer anyways. Now, in reality, as time moves forward, there will be less and less need for so many developers. And what I mean by this is that the demand on developers has changed, now requiring expansive skill sets. Over time, we transition from needing a narrow but deep set of skills to a wide but shallow set of skills. Creating higher level abstractions and higher level languages has simplified development, but only to the point that it allows us to build larger scale projects. Now, developers today must be able to do more and have at least a moderate understanding of many areas and tools. It's kind of a vicious cycle, right? Technology advances, which allows us to do more with less, but then we're required to do more. This in itself is enough to keep developers busy and necessary. But what's happening is the weaker developers, or those with only a basic set of skills, are finding it harder to find work as the need for them is fading, while the demand for more capable, higher-end developers is increasing. To sum this up, developers will always be necessary, and the need for them will never go away. But the number of developers needed will decrease over time. So all you 9-to-5 developers out there had better start looking for new skills or a new line of work. Alright, that's it from me. Be sure to subscribe to Codeborn, and if you want to continue the discussion, go ahead and leave a comment. Thanks for watching.